guys, so sorry about the mess over here, but considering I'm still working on making another bookcase over here, I just have everything shoved to the side, especially since I have a desk behind me and all sorts of bills and other stupid adult life crap. But anyhow, so today I'll be talking about my tattoos. I'll be showing all of my 6 tattoos so far. This is kind of an update video since I showed the first 2 tattoos when I first got them. And yeah, so I have 4 more tattoos that came along after that, and it's been quite a long time since I saw any of you guys, and as you can tell, I have some crazy stuff going on with my hair. I'll probably post another video on all of the hair stuff that I've done in the past year or so, because it's been kind of crazy. And like with this hair, I have all sorts of color going along. Obviously, it was a while since I last dyed my hair from what you can see of the roots. But anyhow, so here are my tattoos. So these are my first tattoo. I consider them as one tattoo considering, you know, they're a package deal and all that. But they're my little onks, and like I got them one of the first times that me and my ex broke up because like he didn't really like tattoos, so it was so like trying to make sure that he was okay with them before getting anything, which was one of the biggest downfalls ever and one of my biggest flaws. But so I got these and my bat on the same day, but I didn't really like think these were my bat through. I just really badly wanted some tattoos, and I knew that I wanted my bat on my wrist, but then I couldn't think of where I wanted some onks, and I really love onks. Like back in middle school, I would purposely draw my F's to where like the little loop would go all the way so that it would be an onk, which is really fucking stupid, but you know, me just being a kid, that's what I wanted to do because I'm that fucking stupid. But onks are the Egyptian sign for immortality and life, and when I was trying to think of places to put them, I said, well, why not have them on my hips and have them be these cool little gothy type of style. So that's what I did, and that's why they're there. For pain tolerance, it didn't really hurt bad at all. Like it felt like I was getting cut, and like felt like a sharper cut around the bottom down here, and like a tiny bit on the sides, not really much, but it was easy pain. Like I could easily get some like more stuff around them and be okay. So this I consider as my second tattoo, even though I got it the same day as my hip tattoos, but it's just in the order that I was getting tattooed. And this little bat, again, doesn't really have much of a meaning. I was just in a hurry to get a tattoo after realizing how stupid I was for waiting for my boyfriend at the time to be okay with me getting tattoos before getting them. But, yeah, so I was just looking for images of really cool bat ideas for tattoos, and this one was one that popped up. And both this tattoo and my onks were done by Tim McCarthy, I believe, at Tsunami Tattoo in Tacoma, Washington by the mall. And this one hurt like a fucking bitch. Okay, so this is the best I could do. But right here in the middle is where it hurt the worst. Like, I had to pay attention to what he was doing right here. Like, I had to be looking at it for it to not hurt as bad. But it was so bad. When I had to get some of this touched up, like a little bit more should have been touched up, but like for what he did, when I had to get some of it touched up, it still was terrible, and I was regretting it. And I probably won't get another wrist tattoo because I already experienced the pain from this one. But if I do get something that I really enjoy, and the only spot that I think would be acceptable is on the wrist, then I'll have to suck it up and do it again. But I really hope not, because like this part killed me. The side of the wings, not as much, but it was still a good amount of pain. But this, no. I am just going everywhere to get a good image in my room. So here's my third one. So this is my Wiccan tattoo, and this one pretty much did not hurt at all. The only part that really hurt was like from the halfway point of this star to these stars in the middle, and then the halfway point, no, it was just like these two stars in the middle and then like half of this star, because I don't know, the inner arm is really sensitive, I guess. But this symbol altogether, the 3 moons that we have, is for the triple goddess, because I am Wiccan. And then I had a pentacle put inside the middle moon, so again, it could be another pagan symbol. And for pentacles, each corner of the star means a different element. Earth, air, fire, water, and then the top of the star is always for spirit. So that is that. And then in the middle circles of each crescent moon, instead of the Trinity symbol, I think was the one in the middle that I saw on some kind of internet page, I had my zodiac sign Aquarius put in the middle, so it's more relevant to me. And then I also had like the blue around, pretty blue color, like put around here for more of a pretty color. And I'll also have 2 different images of this when it was under UVA light right after I got it, because I do have UVA ink all throughout the inside of the star and the inside of this moon, and all throughout this and around here and all throughout this crescent moon. But I've had this now for 2, maybe 3 years, and sadly UVA ink did not last very long. Like, it's already pretty faded, you can hardly see it. If I can get around to putting in a black light and like trying to show that on camera, then I will, but I highly doubt that it will come up, because it's become that faint. As sad as that is to admit, it's that faint now of tattoo ink. And then this tattoo with the UVA ink, they don't want me to say that they did UVA ink because they were running extremely low on it, so they probably don't have some anymore. But this tattoo was also done by Tim McCarthy at Tsunami Tattoos in Tacoma. Alright, so on to my 4th tattoo. So this chunk right here, from Slice of Life and up, is my 4th tattoo. This is my horror tattoo that I actually designed myself. So the heart, the blood-splattered heart in the back, is for Sweeney Todd, along with this razor blade over here. That's also from Sweeney Todd. And the blade is the Vorpal blade from Alice Madness Returns. And Slice of Life, hopefully some of you guys recognize it, but the Slice of Life is from Dexter. And it's the name of Dexter Morgan's bow. I really should have thought about having like a blood slide right here and have like the of and the blood drop, and then it would be a little cooler, but I was not thinking about that at all at the time. And I'll also have like a little image of the design that I drew out and gave to the tattoo artist too, just for friendly comparison. I mean, he did a wonderful job. Like, the white ink that is inside this tattoo is fucking amazing to make it look like more realistic and more like it's shining and everything. Like, I love it. This tattoo was done by my horror tattoo was done by Brian Griffith at Social Skins Tattoo in Seattle, Washington. And as far as pain tolerance goes for this one, after all of the outlining was done, the shading was the worst part of it. And it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but yeah, shading definitely was starting to get to me after a while of being there. There's a better image of it. Alright, so this one is my 5th tattoo, and it's the Eye of Horus. So there's the Eye of Horus, and then there's the Eye of Ra. The Eye of Ra would be for the right eye, the Eye of Horus is for the left eye. And the Eye of Ra represents the sun, the Eye of Horus represents the moon, and which, you know, goes well with this guy down here. And not only that, but each different part of the eye is a different sense, basically. So eyebrow is for thought, the inner eye is for smell, the eye itself it's for sight, this section over here is for hearing, this is for touch, and this little bit over here, the swirl, is for tastes. So that is my Eye of Horus. I also got it because ever since I was really little, I have always been into ancient Egyptian stuff. Like, I've always been into that culture, and like I was always checking out books on ancient Egypt from our school library, to the point where the librarian once gave me a couple magazines on ancient Egypt, which I still have. And I had like, I collect some of the Egyptian statues for different gods and goddesses, and I also, like, my best friend actually told me a little while ago how once we were kids and we were sitting in the car and all of a sudden I went dead silent, and she just turns towards me and she's like, "Cassie, are you okay?" And I just sat there and I said, "Shh, I'm pretending to be a mummy." So here's a better look at these guys, since the footage was extremely out of focus. But for my Eye of Horus, did not hurt at all. The only thing that started to somewhat hurt was like a little bit on the... And also, this Eye of Horus was done by, I forgot his last name, but it was done by Brad at Flaming Dragon on Pacific Ave. I stressed going to Pacific Ave and not 6th Ave because when I was last at 6th Ave, just to talk about tattoos, they treated my friend who went with me like crap. Like, they were acting like a little dick when it came to her tattoo design and such. Like, they didn't even try to understand it when she was trying to explain it to them. So, not going over there again, but I've seen Brad's line work on another friend of mine, and it is fucking awesome. Like, his line work is just so smooth and so great, and that's something that I really look for. Like, I can't go to someone that has like really bad lines. Like, if you have sketchy lines, I'm gonna be thinking a lot more than twice about going to you. But his line work was just so great, I had to get a tattoo from him. So this is my first tattoo from him, and hopefully I'll be going in there sometime soon after getting a job again, to get more tattoos. So on to my 6th tattoo is this little guy right here. He's my newest. This little guy is from Crypticon, and I just really badly wanted like a I just wanted a convention tattoo just for the sheer fun of it and for being spontaneous, because I know that a lot of people like would advise against getting flash sheet tattoos, but I just really wanted one. And the reason why I went with the ice cream cone with the skull in it is because, one, it kind of fits the whole horror theme right here, and two, because some of my old coworkers from IKEA would say that even though I dress dark and like I should live in Gotham City and I'm weird and blah blah, I'm also a super sweet kid and I'm like the nicest person. I'm like a black Care Bear with a rainbow heart of gold, which I should probably drop because that's pretty fucking hilarious. But anyhow, so I feel like this little spoopy tattoo has to deal with like how even though I can seem pretty like dark and I am pretty creepy, I also have a sweetness to me. And as far as pain tolerance goes, the only thing that was painful about this tattoo was the fact that I had to have my leg up at 90-degree angle corner while he was tattooing in the middle of a convention in a corset as well. Because it didn't hurt as much as like I thought it was going to, for the fact of like how my leg was angled and such like that. But yeah, definitely good. I don't know who the artist is though, but it's from Dark Horse Tattoo, and I think they're in Seattle. I only know from the convention, I don't know off the top of my head. But yeah. Alright, now I'm gonna talk about tattoo care. And there are obviously many videos going along with this, and I'll link a couple people that talk about tattoos and different kinds of styles and stuff like that in case you're ever wondering, or in case you ever want to watch them and such like that. They're good people. I can only think of one person at the moment that I'm subscribed to that talks a lot about tattoos, but if I have more on that, then I'll go ahead and link them as well. So, right when you get your fresh new tattoo, of course, make sure that it's all bandaged up. Pretty much every place I've been to, actually every single place that I've been to, already puts some kind of bandage around your tattoo. Normally, like, it's a fat bandage and they wrap it in saran wrap, but there has been times, like my convention tattoo, where they just put saran wrap around it, and that's completely fine. As long as, you know, it's protected from anything. So, first things first, so when you're getting ready for the day and you're gonna get a tattoo, think about where exactly your tattoo is gonna be, and think about what clothes you should wear with that. Like for either one of my leg tattoos, I obviously was wearing some kind of skirt or dress and such because you want to make that available, and you know, if you're wearing a skirt or dress, you don't have to take off your pants for that. And if you were to get a tattoo like in the bust area, like underneath your chest or anywhere that's like on the sides and such, I probably wouldn't wear a bra at all that day, just because, you know, you don't want clothing like up against your tattoo, which is the hardest thing to do for some tattoos. For my hip tattoos, I actually had to go into work right after getting them, so I spent those 4 hours with my pants on my tattoos, and even though it didn't damage them as far as I can tell, it really could have if you're doing a lot of bending and such, or like your pants are constantly right up on the edge with that. I did wear my bandage for the entire 4-hour shift, and normally you just wear your bandage for a few hours after getting your tattoo, but considering I was working in the dish room at the hospital at that time, I really did not want to risk anything getting on those tattoos or accidentally like soaking my shirt and having it go like through the pants and stuff. It was just a huge sanitation thing with me, because I'm all about something being extremely sanitized, especially when it's a tattoo, because you want to treat it like it's a cut on your skin. Like, you just don't want anything, infections, any kind of dirt or anything getting into that. So anyhow, so after getting your first tattoo, and after a while, when you take off the bandage, automatically like clean that area with soap and water, and you want to always use antibacterial soap. It doesn't seem to make a difference whether you use normal soap like the pumping soap, or whether you have foam soap like what I last had to use, just as long as it's antibacterial and probably non-scented, because non-scented, anything is always best with tattoos. And then after you clean it, you want to use some kind of healing ointment over it to help treat it. Maybe you can use Neosporin, but I wouldn't go along with that. What I use is Aquaphor, and this has been highly recommended by a couple of tattoo shops I've been to, and by this one girl that used to work at the hospital. Like, she had full sleeves and such. She, not a girl, she was like 50 something years old, and she even uses Aquaphor after her tattoos are completely healed, she says, because it helps keep the color in and helps make the color vibrant and all. But I don't know that for a fact. I just know that it does really help out with tattoos, and I use Aquaphor on it twice a day for 1 or 2 weeks. Typically I wait until the tattoo healed enough to where it's starting to peel, and this tattoo peeling is just going to be like a sunburn. You don't want to rip off the peels, you don't want to mess around with it, but it is going to end up itching because the tattoo is starting to scab. And when that happens, you can use any kind of lotion that's non-scented. What I normally use is Lubriderm. It's also another thing recommended by tattoo shops and all that. With Lubriderm, it's just like Aquaphor, where you want to use it twice a day, and sometimes if the itching is really bad and I really feel like I need to, then I will put a tiny bit of Lubriderm on it, so that then it helps moisturize your skin, so that then the itching isn't as bad. Also, while you're in the shower, if you're getting a lot of the flaky skin and you don't like that, when you're in the shower, just gently rub on it. Like when you're using soap to help clean out the tattoo, you can gently rub some of those flakes off. Just make sure that you're not peeling it or scraping it or anything like that. And of course, after you wash your tattoo, you want to pat it dry, because again, no rubbing motion. You can easily like rub off some scabs and such, and that will not work out. That will not be good for you or your tattoo. So that is basically all for this video. And as always, remember to tip your tattoo artist. Even if they're just going in to do a retouch, I still give them some kind of tip because you're helping them out both financially and with all of their supplies and such. So generally, if they're putting some kind of ink in your skin, you should give some kind of tip. When I was working at the hospital again, one of my coworkers was telling me that a good tip is anywhere from $15 to $30 an hour, depending on what you're getting done. And I generally go by this rule. Sometimes, if you're trying to calculate how much you still owe the artist, sometimes the tattoo artist can also help you out with finding out like what would be a good amount too, depending on how big your work is, how long it took to do your artwork. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'm just gonna say hi and welcome back to my channel. If any of you guys were wondering where I was, or if any of you guys care, because yeah, I'm still surprised by how many people it says is subscribed to me, because it's been a long time. Sorry. Bye.